Good morning, Tensor friends. Based upon a comment I got on one of my videos, I started thinking about how the symbols, are symmetric about their lower indices, and I got interested in it again. Now, in my feeble attempt at studying relativity, I used the symbols, and I used them in terms of the tensor, to calculate them. And we know the metric tensor is symmetric about the diagonal. So therefore, I know that this is symmetric about its lower indices. But how would you express that in the formalism of tensor calculus, the syntax? Uh, let's remind ourselves one more time what the Christoffel symbols are. So we can express a vector as a linear combination of its components and its basis vectors, right? And so if we take the derivative of this vector with respect to a component, so we take the partial derivative of this with respect to a component, xj, we have to use the chain rule. So it'd be the first times derivative of second plus the second times derivative of first. And you notice that this is just the normal directional derivative you would get in any reference frame. But this guy here is something different, okay? And so we know that the derivative of a vector is a vector. So this derivative is a vector. And we can express that vector also as a linear combination of its components and its basis vectors. And since we have an I in the covariant position here, we have to have some covariant position here for the basis of the vector. And the I is in the lower, the J is in the lower. So these are both the free indexes. We've got to have something here. We also know that this is a expression of more than one term, right? So in two dimensions, there would be all the permutations of E1 and I equal 1 and I equal the 2. So it'd be 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2. So there'd be 4 terms here. If this is 2 dimensions, in 3 dimensions, there'd be 9 terms. So we know to match this guy, we have to have a summation index or a dummy index, they call it in tensor the calculus, right? So we're going to have some components of this vector that looks like this with this basis of vector. Well, as you know, that turns out to be the Christoffel symbol. This is the definition of the Christoffel symbol, right? Well, thanks to a shout out to Carl, in what he commented in one of my videos, reminding me what a basis vector actually is. A basis vector is actually the derivative of a position vector with respect to a coordinate, right? That's how we define them. So what if I said, oh, well, if that's true, that the derivative of this basis vector with respect to this coordinate is the derivative of this with respect to the coordinate, then I get a second derivative with respect to ji. So this Christoffel symbol would be as we define. Well, what if we went the other way around? What if we said the partial of ej with respect to I? But we just flip-flop these guys and we get gamma kji. Well, we all have learned that the order of differentiation is not important. So the partial of j, the partial of I first, then j, or j first, then it's the same. So these things are equal. Therefore, these guys must be equal. So that's the way you would express this in the formalism of tensor, the calculus. Anyway, I thought that was fun. Thanks, Carl. See you later.